for that fateful day. Stories shared and hearts alight around the fire every night. Water stored in jugs and tins, bunkered down through thick and thin. Maps and routes all drawn and laid. Preppers live unafraid. At the preppers' fireside we stay, ready for that fateful day. Stories shared and hearts alight round the fire every night.
I saw you setting up to pretend to be asleep, Brian.
Oh, that was the longest fucking intro ever. Jesus, I'm sorry, mate.
Next time, I'm just going to go live while you're all not expecting it. No intro. Hello, everyone. It's Sunday night. It's the only place to be. If you're a prepper, it's here at the Preppers Fireside, and we have a full house practically tonight. There's only one person missing, but he's an engineer, so nobody cares. Joining me tonight is Andy, the Bombardier. How you doing, Andy?
Yep, I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Excellent. Thank you very much. And Alan, the World Survivalist. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are all yours?
Excellent. Feeling good. Sunday. Ready, fired up. Barry, long time no see. Someone's grown a beard on you. How you doing?
Yes, the return of the beard. Yes, yeah. All well, mate. Thank you. A little bit on the tired side. I've been awake since 2 o'clock this morning, but fully caffeinated and ready to go.
We'd have had time. I'm sure Brian could have whipped up some AI of somebody singing "Return of the Beard." And
the
Brian,
evening
the
is
Scottish Brian, Scottish Prepper 73. Good to have you as always. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. Do you not think he looks so much better with the beard? I mean, I for one, am glad the beard is back.
Yeah, I mean, he can grow one, unlike me, where it comes out patches looking like you Sam's had a stick of dynamite.
I wish I could grow a beard.
Yeah.
It's like a healthy David Bellamy, gone with that cheruby fresh face. It's a good look. I'm welcome back, beard.
Let's have a quick survey in the chat. Thumbs up or thumbs down? That's thumbs up for Barry's beard. Thumbs down if you don't want the beard. We'll get you rated
here. So wrong.
Everyone put your beard. Everyone put your thumbs up, Barry. No. Right. On that note, best get the disclaimer out. Right, I'll stick it across the bottom, and we are doing a scenario tonight. Not so much like role-playing stuff like that for anyone that's new, but just playing out a little bit of a scenario and asking the guys what would they do, what would they think about in this situation and stuff like that, just giving them some food for thought and potentially finding holes in your own preps and helping. But yes, do you need the toilet? You can go to the toilet, you don't have to ask.
No, I've got a question. In the interest of fairness, can we have low tigers or flamethrowers in it this time? I can't help but feel there was an unfair advantage the last time.
Well, I've decided if people start going off kilter, they're just going to get killed off and they'll have to sit there and listen to the rest of us. So when Andy decides I'm going to join the enemy just to fuck him up, he's just going to get shot.
Somebody slotted a tiger.
Up. Nothing but thumbs up for the beard, Barry. There you go. Full approval there. Yes, the disclaimer is this is not real, so don't panic or anything like that. I'm going to find the actual disclaimer read out by the lovely Miss Worm and play that for you.
Listen up, you lot. What you are about to watch is a thought experiment. We've dragged together the finest minds in the country, and Brian, to see how they would cope in different scenarios. These scenarios are not real. And these people may not even exist anywhere other than in your own mind. So pull your panties up and get a grip. Remember, there's no need to panic. It's not real. Yet.
There we go. So sorry, go on, Brian, you want to defend yourself?
I was just going to say, you try and be nice to people, right? Earlier, I had posted a helpful guide for the NHS for Miss Worm, because, I've lady of a certain age and that how to have sex when you hip, right? And I've got to put up with that shit, and I'm doing my bit to help people out. I'll tell you, there's no justice. None. Zero.
She's gonna lynch you. Right, yeah. So it is a scenario. So I will try and get you involved as much as possible, chat. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves as well. But each point when I ask the panel a question, I'll also come to yourselves. So try and keep up and let us know what you would do in certain situations and things, and we'll get you involved. So let's set the scene. Is everybody paying attention?
Come with their pots and pans to show solidarity with those in Gaza who have nothing to cook in them.
There's a new battle on the streets of Britain, fought with flags and calls for deportations.
Now, that is something that Prime Minister Keir Starmer says is un-British. He says it's a total loss of empathy and...
Summer of protest promised by activists never truly caught flame. Instead, a slow burn of nationalism, maybe more powerful for it, and this was the culmination.
There we go. It's not hard to imagine because it feels like we're already living this right at the moment. So that's where we're starting at, pretty much where we are in real life. And there's tensions are rising all over the place. There's isolated incidents and attacks and things like that. So that's our starting point. Based on that, based on what you've seen around you in the last 6 months and based on that little clip there, are you prepping any differently is the first question. Are you getting ready for this any differently? Andy?
So I went for a walk today, mate, and when you messaged just saying what the scenario was, I was thinking about this. And the only thing, mate, I think now I would do differently from thinking about it today, some of my partner's family, mate, live more rural way, more countryside way. And I was thinking, would I put the feelers out and see what's happening where they live, what the situation is in the because I suppose everyone down in the chat knows I live in Newcastle, and I probably live maybe 6 miles from the city centre. So I think the only difference I would make, mate, I wouldn't do anything prep-wise, like physical preps, but I think I would be reaching out to family members who live more in rural areas and seeing what the possibility would be of us moving there for a week, 2 weeks, maybe if the need arose. But that's
an emergency holiday. More.
Yeah. That's the only thing I would do in that instance, mate. I think first off, I don't think I would be, I wouldn't be boarding windows, or I wouldn't be going into that extreme. But I think that would be my first protocol.
Well, we can see your window, so we know you're not done that yet. So, but no, it's a great point, and planning costs nothing. And putting the feelers out, the only thing it costs is possibly your family going. That's about it. So, Alan, based on current events, things that are going on, and that little reel there, are you prepping any differently or getting ready any differently? Has things accelerated at all?
I think for me, it's always a case of information. So I direct my attention of information, or my focus of information, based on what I think is the most pressing issue. So if I thought there was going to be something of a spike in rioting, or something was building, I could see the tension taking place, I would pay a little bit more attention to that across the media platforms. So I've got 5 or 6 places that I like to try and keep on top of, based daily, sort of my news feed basically. It's not all mainstream stuff, but there's 5 or 6 places where I like to get my information from, and I would narrow that down to what's happening on the ground just now, and it's really just an observation thing. Personal preps, I wouldn't really do anything different particularly, but that's because I live in a relatively small town, and so it doesn't tend to affect me, this kind of stuff. But if I lived in a larger urban area, I might make a little bit more preparation based on making sure my car's fully filled, for example. Make sure that the fridge full of messages, so I don't need to go outside. You don't want to be going outside and this kind of stuff. So other than that, not really. It's just about information at this stage, I think.
Yep, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Barry, same question, pretty much. The state of the current, the way the world is right now, and how much we've seen it pick up over the last few months. Are you prepping any differently? Has it accelerated things?
I find myself checking the fuel gauge on the car a bit more regular. Like Alan says, as soon as it's like 3/4 full, I'm topping it up every opportunity I get. I'm also taking multiple different routes to and from my place of work, purely because of the demographics in the areas, and in light of what's been happening recently in our country's second city, which I'm not too far away from. Things could get nasty around here pretty quick, I imagine. And food-wise and everything, just making sure I've got enough of everything in just in case everything happens. Other than that, it's pretty much business as usual.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the Midlands, and there's no secret there. We can hear it with the twang in the accent and stuff. And we've just seen lots of stuff. We've just seen lots of stuff in the centre of Birmingham, like with the fireworks attacking police and all sorts. So it is quite a bit of an epicentre at the moment as well, isn't it? So
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Brian, same question. Well, the stage we're at now, I assume you're happy with what you've got right now, but has it made you think about a bit more the fact that you've got a vest propped up behind you? Maybe a giveaway?
No, I bought that before this, and the plates and inserts before it. Where we live, because it's not a major city or town, and we're miles from one, I don't have any major security concerns if it was civil unrest.
Oh,
my main
tonight.
worry.
You do tonight.
My main worry at the moment would be, because these things tend to escalate and become problems at night times and weekends, which is strange considering most of the folk causing the problems don't fucking work. But anyway, that I would be more concerned about me being out and about at work and my kids and my wife. But given that we're generally home of an evening, I wouldn't be too concerned at this stage. But if we lived in a major city and we worked at night time or were travelling at night time, I'd have real concerns.
Mm-hmm. Right. Good. Fair point. Fair point. How, Brian, are you staying informed and to keep an eye out how things escalate? Is it just mainstream media and YouTube? Is there anything?
No, I think because all the news channels are, I'll be generous, tend to exaggerate or put a spin on things. I think to capture a fair flavour of the news, you should be looking at as many news channels and outlets, be it online, paper, Twitter, Al Jazeera, GB News, Sky News. You should be watching all of them and make a judgment call on what they're all saying and what you can find with web searches as well. Mm-hmm. And if the common consensus across most of the platforms are saying, don't go out tonight because the city you live in, there's fires and cars getting turned over, then it would be reasonable to assume, in the balance of probability, taking a dog for a piss is a bad idea.
Yeah, yeah. Barry, when it comes to information with stuff like this, same for yourself?
Yep, completely agree with what Brian's just said. Obviously, due to the nature of my work, I've got sort of official lines that I can listen to as well. People up in higher management, which then heads up towards government kind of levels. Yeah, Brian's absolutely bang on with what he's just said. You've got to get as much information from as many different locations as you can and make a proper informed judgment.
Yeah. Alan, anything to add to that for information, staying in the loop?
The thing about news is, you can adapt it and change it a little bit based on the scenario, but just as a kind of brief overview, I tend to listen for my news from a mainstream media point of view. I listen to a lot of Radio 4 at work, which is that's the main news channel for the UK, and that's a very left-wing sort of station. I look at ground news as well, which gives me a more weighted balance as to what's going on, and it also shows me whether it's left or right or centre, because the narrative is always important, because most of these media organizations have a political leaning. It's almost always left. There are a few right-wing ones as well, like GB News, but I mean, to me, GB News is really just parroting what's going on Twitter. I tend to find one of the best places to get local news is Facebook groups. There are certain Facebook groups. So I've got one in my area, which is literally called The Nosy Neighbour, and then that's the name of my town. And it's just people talking about what's going on. Just, somebody's crashed a car into a lamppost, but it's at that level, or they're trying to sell you some rubbish from their garden. But you can pick up on a few of these groups sort of within a perimeter of where you live, and you can get on the ground, sort of real time people actually telling you the news, and it's not got an agenda. It's just nosy people basically saying, "Oh, do you know what's going on right now? This guy's just had a brick through his window." That's the kind of up-to-date information I like to see. I try to limit it as well, because you can get overwhelmed with the news. So 5 or 6 max, and take it from that.
Cool. I don't know what's going on. Can anyone in the chat let me know if they're watching on my channel? Because StreamYard's just said I've got 0 watching on my channel. And we've gone from 200 down to 29. So I don't know if something's gone wrong with YouTube. Please let me know if you're watching on my link. Andy, if
they're all watching it on mine, it's totally fine.
It's fine. It is fine. It is fine. We've just gone from 197 to 30, and I'm a bit concerned with that.
Yeah, Mike, I must admit, I had our channel at YouTube on my phone as well, and it's just booted.
The wife's just tell us it's been turned off for violating
what
policies. She's just been watching it live, and it said it's been shut down for violating YouTube policies.
Yeah, I've just seen that pop up as well.
Ah, nice. Okay, so we're watching. I don't know what policies we're violating here at all.
Telling the truth, mate.
We haven't even got down to the actual topic yet. There's 22 people watching on my side.
Yeah,
excellent. Right. Listen, guys, they've shut it down on mine. Please go to the Bombardier, Scottish Prepper 73, World Survivalist, and stuff like that. I have no idea. So yeah, interesting. Andy, I still keep in touch with family and friends that are serving, and that's kind of a source of information as well. Are you very much the same with that?
Yeah, I'm still plugged in, mate, to a lot of lads who are still serving. So between lads in the military, mate, I've got down south covered. I've got the Midlands and the Northwest covered with you and Barry, and then I've got the Northeast covered because that's where I live, and then I've got Scotland, mate, covered pretty much with Brian and Alan. So I'm to be fair, mate, that's what I would do if I was looking for information when this stuff was going on. I wouldn't really be too bothered about the news. I would go to people that I trust to get the feel of what the actual intel on the ground is.
Yeah, I mean it's generally a bit more accurate and a bit less sensational when you get it right from source, right?
Yeah.
2 seconds. I'm just trying to see if I can see what's gone on here. It doesn't even
The
exist.
wife was saying something about some comments had been made about songs and Starmer or some shit. If that's all it took to get shut down, then I'll never know what it is.
That's ridiculous, because that was from YouTube. So it's on YouTube already.
Yeah, there was a comment in the chat about it, if memory serves me correctly, about 5-6 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean,
a shocking state of affairs if the keywords to be flagged on YouTube is literally Starmer now. If that's the case, that's unbelievable.
Well, I'll fight it out with YouTube afterwards, but luckily the stream's not monetized, and they can try and screw me up all they want. We've got 96 people in. It gives all these guys some extra view time, so bonus there. Somebody please in the chat put the message out on Discord and let people know that it's live on the Bombardiers, Brian's and Alan's channel, and they can go over there. It would be appreciated. Cool, let's just crack on. Ignore it. Safely ban us for the next little clip.
You can go to
Here we go.
Riots have broken out in all major cities across the UK. Police are stretched thin and are struggling to maintain order. The Home Secretary has urged everyone to stay away and implemented a nationwide curfew from 6 p.m. Please avoid all major cities and town centres.
You're shaking your head at Ryan.
You fucker.
Right.
You burnt Alan's shed down.
Yeah, it was Alan, sure. Yeah. Right. So, protests have turned violent. Looting, opportunistic riots spread to several major centres. The Metropolitan Police have declared major incident and they're overwhelmed. The Prime Minister is out of the country and the Home Secretary emergency broadcast was widely ignored. Brian, in the chaos going on around you in the wake, you wake up to find a smouldering pile of ash where your shed and all your preps used to be in said shed. So keep that in mind.
Where
you've lost everything. Well,
no, I've
you've
not lost everything.
You've lost everything in there. So just keep that in mind as we carry on for this.
Fuck.
Sorry. Right. So while Brian thinks of what the hell's he going to do, at this stage, Andy, it's starting to look a bit like more urgent and it's happening in its violence quite a lot of places. Is it time to alert friends and family, speak to them, trying to get a plan together?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, mate, on the, like I say, when I was getting to some thought today. And originally, mate, I did think when we've done these things before that I would stay here. But now, and I don't even know why I hadn't thought about it in the past, mate, to be honest with you, but I'm thinking more so now to head over to somewhere rural with family and stay with them. With the car we've got, I can probably fit a large portion of the preps in the car and take them with us. So at this stage, mate, I think I would definitely be putting plans in place in terms of we're going to go to yours, or this is going to be the plan, we'll bring this with us, or extended period of time. Who else is coming? Because there's a few family members, mate, in the rural areas, so it could be a case of you could split, between the three houses. There's plenty enough room. That's not an issue. So yeah, I would definitely be putting plans in place, mate, to look to head definitely away from the city. I think.
Yeah.
Now.
Cool. Alan, is the friends and family to alert, or is you still keeping it to yourself? What at this stage? The fact that even rural places like Brian, his shed's getting burnt down, it looks like it's spreading. What's the plan of action for yourself?
I think I'm kind of on the same terms here, or the same thinking as Andy when it comes to my actions. It's definitely a case you put the feelers out. And there's no point in keeping it to yourself. I mean, especially if you're talking about friends and family and things like that. I mean, there's no real reason to do that. But I mean, one thing I have done, and I think people should do, is at least identify these places where you could potentially sort of bug out to, type thing. So for me, on my side, I've got a father-in-law who lives in a relatively rural area. It's not near a large city. It's more rural than where I live, but it's 100 miles from here. But I've already in the past looked at a route from my house to that house that doesn't involve traveling on motorways or major roads. There's 2 or 3 other routes that hopefully wouldn't be stopped by traffic jams or people on the road or any sort of scenario like that. And that's always been my thinking, that if things were getting a little bit hot, then I could send sort of my partner, my kid, my children there, and just at least say, we'll go and live there for a week. And I would probably stay here and sort of man the fort and monitor what was going on, with a point of I can then bug out to that location should this area become a little bit too hot. But if nothing happens and it calms down after a week, then they've just spent a week, getting pampered down there at Granddad's, and then they'll just come back and no harm, no foul. Nobody's, the kids and stuff aren't afraid or intimidated or anything like that. But you should definitely put those things in place at the moment. Or at the very least, if you don't have friends or family, think about looking for very, very cheap bed and breakfasts or hotels in rural places that you can just go on a random holiday for a week to. That would be an option.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. Thank you, Polonium, for Brian's £10 super chat. That's £10 for Brian's trouble because he's on your channel. It doesn't go to me. So there you go. He's paying for your shed.
Thank you. Thanks for the sprinkler fund.
Barry, same question. Where are you at with this? It seems to be escalating at a large scale. The police have officially declared a major incident. So what are you doing now? Anything different?
Okay, so if the police have declared a major incident, then probably our works will have stepped up to the same sort of level as well. Because the wife works for the same company, we will probably have advance warning of anything sort of coming our way. So we've then got to start thinking, right, at what point do we say, right, it's time to get out of Dodge and head to our first bug out location, not too far away, in case it blows over quickly and then it's a quick return. But yeah, it's definitely a case of monitoring the news a bit further, and if need be, everything's in the cars and we're away.
Excellent, thank you. I am keep muting myself because I've got YouTube chat going nuts on the left hand side of me there. Sorry. No, it's great, Brian. The shed's burnt down. What's your plan right now? I mean, they've declared a state of emergency. Everything's gone that you sat in right now. What's the plan?
I've went full Charlton Heston. I'm sitting with ashes in my hands, saying, "Damn it, all you maniacs! You blew it to hell."
I have no
Charcoal
doubt.
streaks with tears. Depends. So, I'd first want to know what the police were saying, if anything, and if they didn't turn up, it became certain that a lot of things have went wrong, that it went whoosh without problems for the people that set the fires. But anyway, that aside, I'll be going scouting to the nearest shops that I can find, and if they're okay, I'll be buying stuff and telling the wife to come up in her car and bring my son, and I'll spank a couple of grand on tins and food and fill both cars if I can.
Excellent. Yeah, well, you can at the moment. They've not locked us down or anything like that. Sorry, I'm having a rant at YouTube at the same time.
No, you're good. I would refill, restock as best I could.
Yeah. With in mind what's happening, Brian, and what's happened to yourself, is there any sort of plan B, bug out plan, anything like that?
I still wouldn't be moving because the domestic solar and batteries are the primary source of emergency power. The camper van's still there with a secondary source of emergency power and solar in it. There's still things in the home. The home would still be my bug-in choice. I would switch from passive to active defence measures.
I've just had a YouTube staff member ask me, can I emphasise what I mean by role play?
She's not got much of a life, has she?
Brian, do you want to explain to YouTube what role play means?
Okay. So,
I thought you were trying to get back on the air.
It's my time to shine. So, in the context of what we are discussing, this is an entirely hypothetical scenario based on the state of the world at the moment and potential hypothetical solutions and resolutions to these hypothetical scenarios.
Just read the fucking disclaimer at the bottom, you bellends. How's that? Is that better?
Probably wouldn't upset the YouTube gods. Mike's comments are entirely his own.
This, as is everyone's. Barry.
But can I have his 10,000 subs when you kick him?
Barry, is there a bug out plan?
Yes, there is. Once things really do start getting hairy and all the channels are sort of screaming that it's, everything's going to hell, then we move then from sort of bug out location 1 to further afield to 2, maybe 3, even a final destination bug out location. But again, it depends on the severity and whether it blows over quick or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, they've declared it. They don't take. It takes a lot for them to declare it a national emergency. That's the only thing I would say on that front. Alan, with this stage at this level, they've declared a national state of emergency. The Home Secretary had a broadcast on there and stuff like that. And Brian's shed got burnt down. which you could see the smoke from miles because the all the eco floors are still burning to this time.
Chemical fires.
Hasn't the Pepsi put it out?
Do you know?
Yeah.
Don't listen to him. He's a monster. Don't listen to him. He doesn't mean it. They're listening, you know. They can hear you.
I tried to help that one. I put a bit of water in it. You know what I mean?
Tiny tears down there in the corner.
Sorry, Alan.
Old Rusty.
Carry on.
You know, I think when it comes to bugging out, I've always got a bug out plan. My bug out plan is always the same for most scenarios. It's basically a 3-tiered types thing. So like I say, it's a case of the first bug out plan is just moving to a relative's house that you know is a slightly safer location. Sorry, and that would be the case for anywhere. You know, the second one would just be a hotel or a bed and breakfast. Again, that's just a more rural location because, especially if it's a nationwide thing. You know, my ultimate bug out plan where I'm literally heading off into the woods with my backpack is, you know, an extreme event. I won't be doing that. I think like Brian, I'm just going to be doing the same. I'll go more into a more defensive mode. I'll go into a more survivalist mode, as it were. I mean, I would have to, something serious would have to happen to me for me to have to leave my house. It would have to be a severe scenario. And especially if I don't have like kids or anything in the house and it's just me hunkered in this house by myself. I mean, there would literally have to be fighting going on in my garden before I left, you know, in that kind of scenario.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I mean, it's going to be a mammoth task in itself, surviving in the outdoors with family, right? And when it's on your own, it's one story. When it's people in tow, it's a completely different kettle of fish, right?
And infinitely more difficult. And you have to prepare. If you've got a genuine preparation, if you've got a genuine idea that you're going to bug out into the woods, and I've said this before, that's mostly nonsensical for most people. But if you are going to do that, you have to do it with the mindset, who are you taking with you? Because if you're just doing it entirely as Mr. Lone Wolf, but you've got 5 kids and a wife, then you're a bloody moron, because all of those plans are going to go out of the window. You have to prep as if the entire family's with you. Babies, dogs, whatever the hell you've got, they're all in the woods standing there looking at you saying, what do we do now? You know, and it's winter, by the way, and pouring with rain. That's the scenario you have to think about.
Yeah. Definitely good to keep thoughts like that.
Can I point out something, Mike, quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Last time he gets tigers and flamethrowers, and I get ashes and sackcloth. There's a gross injustice here, and I feel personally attacked. I just want to get that on the record.
I didn't give him tigers and flamethrowers. He did that himself.
He gets Mr. Fluffy, and I get ashes. How's that right?
It's right. It's you got to give the people what they want, Brian. You got to give the people what they want. The YouTube, just for a quick update, everyone. The YouTube person is be right back while they go and check the start of our stream to see what the violations were. We'll find out soon. So I don't think she knows that I'm still live in a roundabout kind of way. Andy, anything changing now? Is there a bug out plan in place? Obviously, you mentioned talking about the thing, but are you getting new supplies, grouping together, anything like that? Is there anything else, because it has been declared as this state of emergency now, you could see it getting much, much worse?
I think, mate, I would start to, because what I'm thinking now is that I think if I was like a lot of you guys, or especially like Alan and Brian, and if I lived in Scotland and I was rural myself and I lived in a relatively small town, I would do the exact same as them two. With me being 6 miles, mate, from the city centre, I'm thinking now I would probably more err on the side of caution, and I would head to the sticks. Now, with that being said, mate, if I was going to go, I would secure the house in terms of all the pre-cut boards I've got, the OSB boards. I think all those would be placed on the windows. And I would secure the inside of the house fully from the inside. I would then obviously go out the back, and I would go out the back, mate. So the front of the house and the back is fully secured from the inside. I'd go out the back. I would make sure the garage as well is secured. And because my garage got a flat roof, I'd jump up onto the roof, and then I'd go across the roof and down the garage. So everything is secure from the inside.
Right.
And then I would leave. So when I didn't come home, I would then just do it in reverse. I'd have to go up and over the garage, and then
so
through.
at this stage, are you taking that action, or is this a plan in place?
Well, so I think the first part of this would be, mate, that everything would be boarded up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's got to this stage, the last thing I want to do is wait till the riots have moved, say, 4 miles up the road, and I've only got 2 miles. Do you know what I mean? I would want, ideally, I'd want the 6 mile breathing space. So if it was national, I would definitely be in the process, mate, of securing the house and being ready to to be fair, mate, I'll tell you what I would do to break it down simpler. The car would be packed with every single prep that I wanted to take, all the vital stuff, and the windows would be boarded.
Yeah. The violation was for their firearms policy.
Was there firearms then?
We never mentioned anything to do with firearms.
No.
Oh,
We don't allow live stream to show somebody holding, handling, or transporting a firearm.
And in fact, we weren't talking about anything.
No.
No.
Definitely.
So
not.
basically, somebody, a disgruntled person, has gone onto my stream and reported it for said things when there's no such thing in process.
You know what the crazy thing is, Mike? They don't have access to this, do they, before it goes live?
No. No.
Because obviously we were talking about.
No. There's nothing goes out at all. It's not even recorded. It's not documented at all in the green room.
Some knobhead mates reported you then, haven't they?
May you check it, please? The email you receive, she receives a timestamp that you can check. Okay, interesting. I'll check the timestamp in a minute. Before I check the timestamp, I will move us on. Wake up the next morning, reports indicate that the disruption is spreading rapidly to smaller towns and satellite cities. Fuel stations are running dry. Some supermarket chains have closed until further notice. Local policing presence is minimal, focusing on critical infrastructure, hospitals and power stations. There are unconfirmed reports of utility workers being intimidated or attacked, suggesting power and water services may become unreliable. So there we go. Brian, what's the preps and drills right now with that in mind?
Well, I've probably seen some of this during the night because we'll be sleeping 2 or 3 hours on and off between me, my son and my wife, and taking turns watching the news. Given that the shed's been burnt down, they'll be told to waken me if anybody's out in the back garden, and I'll be checking the camera because it should have spotted somebody, and all the lights that should have come on. Obviously never seen that either, Mike. Baby. That'll be
sorry, this is my fault. The intro shows me pulling the trigger of an air rifle.
Okay.
That is what it was.
You've showed that before though, haven't you? That's
that's been used before.
Go on. Sorry, carry on, Brian.
No, it's fine, mate. So I'm still not going anywhere. I've spent a lot of money in the supermarkets before they shut, and I've gathered up more supplies. It's not back where I was before, but it will still be months and months of food. Given that the other shed didn't catch fire, hopefully, I've still got barrels of water and generator in there. So I'll be knocking doors on the rest of the street and asking if they had anything missing, and the men in the street seeing if they want to take part in organising just a patrol at night time around our part of the village at this stage.
Excellent. Barry, same question. Obviously, it's massively escalating here. Utilities are under threat. You know, you've got to start thinking about water, power, etc. Preps and drills now.
Yeah, we're away basically at this stage because of the locality to the town centre and the local demographic. Yeah, we're away. We're off to our final prep destination with 2 cars fully loaded with everything every prep that we're going to need. Basically, we're emptying the house. Simple as. We're not hanging about.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Alan, same drills and preps.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brian and Barry are pretty much bang on the money with this. I mean, I I would act pretty much identically to the both of them. It would depend on whether initially, early on, when I says, do I send my family to the more rural place or do they stay at home? That will change slightly how I do the preps. So if I sent them to the more rural area, I'll be doing kind of similar to what Brian was talking about, and loading up the car with everything I possibly have, with the intention of taking that stuff to them, because I would now probably start thinking about going to them so I can fortify that area with them there rather than fortify my area, which, you know, is less important in my opinion for most things. One thing I would do though is, if I was going to do even 100-mile trip with a car full of preps, I would also take an empty barrel with me. I've always got those blue barrels kicking around. I've got a bunch of them that I bought. I would take one of them and a spade with me, just on the off chance that you get blocked on the road, your car breaks down, something goes up, something happens. You can bury your stuff in a field, you know. It'll take you a couple hours to dig a hole, put the preps from your car in the barrel, bury it in the hole, put some bushes over the top of it, leave the car. That's going to get ransacked, but at least you know some of the more valuable preps or some of the more useful preps are in a barrel 100 feet away and you know, in a hole somewhere, and then go and then do something else. At least you're not losing everything then, because I'm always concerned when I think of the idea of putting all of my vital stuff into a car, because I know how easy it is for a car to roll down a hill, and then you're screwed. You carry all that stuff? Of course not. You know, so you have to be prepared for the idea that, you know, your car lasts 20 miles into your 200-mile journey, and what you got to do with all your preps.
Yeah, I mean, my plan is like to load up the car, but it's, when loading it, it's kind of loading in a way of, if the car makes it, the stuff at the bottom, great to have, but as it gets further out towards the edge of the car, it's the bags that I might have to grab, throw on the back, and leave everything else. So packing it strategically is key.
You put in all the Dutch ovens first, you know, and all the wood burning stoves, and then
the kids are under the kits, so I get the kit out first and leave the kits. They're just going to cost me money in food. It's fine.
You've got enough anyway, Mike. You've got spares.
I can make more. It's fine. I can replace all them.
Right at the doors, just so I can grab them all my vinyl record collection, because, you know, I don't care if the world's ending. I'm taking that with me.
Excellent. Cool. Well, yeah, it's I'm going to close this off because she's just distracting me now. Yeah, so to fill everyone in, YouTube's policy on firearms is on a live stream. So you can't show them on a live stream. It doesn't matter that YouTube has 10,000 videos of people using firearms. If it's a live stream, they can't show them. I imagine because idiots might have done something stupid on live in the past with firearms. So my bad, guys. I apologize, but luckily we've got backups upon backups. So thank you very much. Appreciate everyone joining the other channels, and it gets your guys' watch hours up as well. So bonus, right? Screw Mike. Andy, I've not asked you yet, preps and drills at this stage?
Yeah, I'd be away, mate. So I would finish off. So like I say, mate, couch packed. All the stuff would be boarded up, so I would just do what I said before, mate. Everything would be skewed from the inside. I'd go out the back. I would skew the garage from the inside, and then I'd be out the back of the garage, up and over the top, into the car, and I would be away, mate, to Ruralville.
Yep. Okay. So whether that family's answered the question or not, you're turning up at this stage.
You know, now that Alan said that, mate, about the blue barrel, that's a good idea, mate. So I'll probably incorporate that, and to even take it one step further, maybe it's worthwhile speaking to them now and having some stuff there already. Like Alan said, it's so easy, mate, for your car to roll off down a hill, or, for example, Al's right, mate. I mean, even if the A1's gridlocked, do you know what I mean? So it might be worthwhile now, mate, seeing if I can store some stuff there already. Just in a blue barrel, and just keep it in their garage and say, look, that's just there for a rainy day. Do you know what I mean?
Just keep the spare tiger.
That's just there for a rainy day. Just give it a bit of milk and some kitty.
Only gorillas. He didn't say about the gorilla though, mate, did he? So I've still got the gorilla. The gorilla's still on the go.
The thing is, it's an easy cache solution. If you're going to cache things in blue barrels and stuff, I mean, it always made sense to me to store it in places like your mother-in-law's house or your mum's house or some, you know, just random places where they don't care, and it's under the stairs. you know, and you know, it's just a good place to stash stuff, really.
If I was to say to my mother-in-law I'm coming round and bringing a large blue barrel and a shovel, she'll phone the police.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, it's options and choices, right? Options and choices. Right, let's move on from violations and it all spreading. I can't remember where I'm up to now. Yeah, that's that one.
Breaking news. Reports of now 7 explosions across the UK are coming in. This seems to be a coordinated attack by an unknown organisation. So far, casualties are unknown, but considering it's at a time when many people are at work, these are expected to be in the hundreds.
Ooh.
Yeah, very interesting. Nobody knows and no information. This is the big key thing. There's nothing coming out through the mainstream media, no real answers, shock. And everything online, YouTube, Discord, through your Meshtastic is all rumors. It's the Russians, it's this, it's that, it's all sorts. So that's where we're at. Barry, I'll come to you first. Unsure whether this attack is internal, people are outside active, fear and rumours are running rampant, businesses start to close doors, all police and military leave is cancelled, overseas troops begin to be transported and returned home, local councils try to start emergency recruiting security/deputised police. You get a knock at the door, Barry. Even though you've left, so you can't answer it.
Like,
so you don't get a knock at the door. So we'll skirt over that bit part for you for this second. But so where are you at now? Where are you going to? Are you bugging out to the wild? Are you at a new secure location? Are you with family? Are you with a group? There's the thing is, the city you've just fled from, you've seen a giant plume of smoke behind you with one of these explosions going off.
That's probably not a bad thing, to be honest. Right, so yeah,
a cleanse.
Yeah, a bit of a cleanse. So I'm definitely on my way to my furthest and final bug out location, because if things are getting this bad now, it's get out of Dodge completely. Everybody that's sort of in my personal mag will know the location to go to. There's set times to try and communicate with each other as well, so we know either who's en route or if anybody's stuck, needs assistance, etc. And then once we've got to our final location, it's start putting, you know, patrols in place, eyes on roads, things like that. You know, really start to hunker down.
Cool. Alan, are you still at home at this stage, or have you already left? You were getting ready to leave, but you've not left, have you?
I think if I sent my kids and stuff away, I would leave to go there by this point. But if I didn't, for some reason, if the situation was slightly more worse there than it was here, then I would remain. I would still be remaining at this point, as opposed to heading out to the sticks, because
excellent.
I don't think
someone's just knocked on your door.
Yeah, I would still be here at this point.
So you do get a knock at the door, and Brian, you're getting the same knock at the door at the same time to avoid saying the same thing. Andy and Barry have already bugged out. So both of you get a knock at the door. And basically, it's an official-looking council guy with a not-so-official-looking, half-dressed in police, half-dressed in army fatigues guy. Looked like he's got some sort of cobbled-together uniform, carrying what looks like an air rifle or something like that. And he's basically...
If people are wondering, that's what Royal Engineers look like.
Carrying an 11mm spanner. Yeah, so they turn around to you and they're asking for, are you able to help? They're looking for able-bodied men to help on a volunteer basis. And are you interested in joining? And they'll make sure your family's looked after and stuff like that. So that's the initial interaction. So I'll have both of your answers. Alan, What are you saying to the guy at the door looking official?
I want to milk them for information here, so I want them to be more specific about exactly what all of those things mean. All I want from them now is information. I've got no intention of going with these.
Ask me then. Ask me. I'm the guy.
It'll be a case of, well, exactly how are you going to protect my family? Is there going to be somebody here? Are you going to patrol the street? Or are you talking about a physical presence?
They'll be brought into a secure area. We've got a secure area with all the families of our security personnel.
Right. And where would that be? And who's organising that? And who?
That's at the base down the road. The one. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think what I would be, I wouldn't come across as particularly hostile to them. I would give them the place to say, yes, I'm buying into what you're saying here. Give me more information. Let me think about it. Let me get my stuff together. Let me speak to the wife and the kids and all that kind of stuff. How do I contact you? How do I would make it look as if I'm trying to be as approachable and.
Here you go. Passes you a sheet of paper that's been printed on, looks like some antique printing press, and it says report to this base by no later than 6 p.m. in 2 working days, sort of thing, with your family and only stuff that you can carry. On the same foot, he then turns around and says, do you have any food and water? Are you okay? Does anyone require any medical assistance within the next 2 weeks that's in the house? He's asking you this question.
Yeah, I would be saying, no, I don't have those things. But do you have any of those things? Because we are actually in quite desperate need of those things at the moment. But yes, absolutely give me the location of where you want me to see. And I'll see you in 2 days. I would then go and scout that place prior to the 2 days and find out what the hell's going on. That's a hostile element,
No problem, sir. We will we'll get some water and food out to your family with one of the aid trucks as soon as we can. Thank you very much for your time. I hope to see you soon. Brian, are you interested in helping us out?
I didn't even open the door, mate. For the minute he got near the house, I could see him in the cameras.
He sets fire to your door.
Does he? Okay.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
A flamethrower.
And then sends a tiger in.
Right, so unbeknownst to you, Brian, he knocked on the door and the missus opened it before you checked. So he's at the door. You're having the conversation. Yes, she did.
No, she
yes,
didn't.
She did.
But let me just paint a picture for you. I can see him and I can talk to him through the camera.
Okay.
Up in the wall.
Right, okay. So he's asking you the same question then through the camera.
He shouted through letterbox. It's Hawkins. Let me.
No, sorry, mate. Can't help. I'm disabled.
You're disabled?
Yeah.
So do you need require any medical assistance over the next 2 weeks? Because we understand the doctor's office is going to be closed.
No, I'll be fine. In fact, just to manage expectations, there's a lot of disabled people in this area, but we look after one another.
We'll send checks round on a regular basis. Then we can send a nurse round with some officers over the next few weeks, and we'll have them check in you. We'll have them check in on you every couple of days.
I wouldn't. Don't come back. Bye.
Hostile, Brian. Hostile, Brian.
A vagrant's just turned up half dressed with a gun.
He shoves the same. He tries to wedge the same leaflet through your letterbox.
It's blocked.
Just jams it in as best he can. Yeah, I expected it would be. That's why I said that. And then goes on his way.
I think with any kind of common sense, somebody half dressed and scavenged, because you've got to think, right? It's not out of the realms of possibility that somebody has got bits of fatigues from other dead bodies and they're rocking up in the pretext. It's like try to get into old people's houses to turn them over with an official looking thing from the gas board. There's no way in this planet they would get in the door unless they forced it, and that would bring its own problems.
Yeah 100%. Yeah no, good lessons to be learnt in the chat here. I need to go to the chat shortly. I've completely ignored you from most of this. I do apologize. Andy, you've made it to said location, and as you arrive, funnily enough, the same thing's happening there, but this guy is an actual police officer and he looks like an actual council guy with him, asking the same sort of questions if they'll go. So whoever your family members at the door and they've not answered yet, they've just asked the question, you've come up, you've got a chance to interrupt or say something. What are you doing at that point?
I would say, I'm really glad you're here. We're refugees. from Newcastle. So whatever you've got, we need.
He says, excellent. Refugees, if you'd like to come and just get in the back of our vehicle and we'll take you to the correct facilities.
Get fucked. I'm not gonna fuck anywhere. I'm quite happy where I am, mate. Yeah. If you've got a finite number of resources, then you use it on people who haven't got a home or haven't got shelter.
If you come and help us out our security forces, you look like a able-bodied gentleman, and we can help look after your family.
Nah, don't need any help. I'm disabled. I'm like my mate Brian up in Scotland. I'm disabled. Yeah, I'd be more of a burden. I would really be a burden to you. You don't want me.
Right. Okay, so we've fobbed off the council guys looking for security forces. So there we go. Let's go to the chat, see what's going on. I don't know if I can see all of the chat, so I'm sorry if I miss any because I'm not live.
He's dead.
Luckily, I'm rule, except people to want to reach out suddenly will be asking what they will be bringing to the party as not taking freeloaders. There you go. So I'll bring a bottle, Phil. I'll bring a bottle. It's fine. I have a couple of blue barrels used for kayak storage and dried goods. Yeah, perfect. You can get them. Go and have a check out, like anywhere that sells spices and stuff like that. Yep. Usually like to commercial curry houses and what have you, because they use them barrels and they want to get rid of them. They literally want to get rid of them, and you taking them off the hands is cheaper for them. So
check Facebook Marketplace.
Yep. Yeah. Another one.
I got 3 of them for 20 quid delivered each. It was a tenner each plus £10 delivery, and they're all food grade and washed it.
There you go. What were you saying, Alan? Sorry,
Al.
I got mine from an animal feed place, which was, they were selling them on eBay, but like Brian, they were cheap as chips. I got a bunch of them with 60-litre barrels and the 30-litre barrels, and I think I got about 8 at one point for, can't even remember what I paid, but it was less than 70 quid. It was an absolute steal. They had grain in them at one point, but honestly, you could see the powder of the grain, but they were spotless. Washed them out, perfect.
Yeah, and you can find out if it's wet goods or dry goods usually, and if it's dry goods, you're never going to have an issue, sort of thing. And the other thing is sometimes they come and the lids are not great, or the seals they've broke the seals when they've opened them. You can buy replacement seals for these things as well, a lot cheaper than buying new barrels. So, surely Canadian Prepper would have reported it the week before. He did. We all ignored it in our usual fashion, so it was fine. The BBC wouldn't tell you anyway. Well, they might. Spoilers. Just scrolling down. I think airports and big shopping centres have had a heads up. Had a weird cryptic message from my cousin this week. There you go.
What was the message? Cryptic.
It was
release the tigers.
Nothing much really other than keep my eyes open, but he specifically mentioned airports and shopping centres plus trains and public transport. I assume it's just threat analysis based on current attacks. Would there be any arguments for staying in the city? I mean, if you're in one of the ones that's not already been half blown to bits, then you could be staying there. But this is where a bug out plan comes into place. Whether you're able-bodied or not, you need to have a plan that suits your needs and options to go to. Andy's not necessarily bugging out to the woods. He's identified a family member or a friend that lives in a much safer location. So,
one thing I would say, mate, about somebody, that question there about the city, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, mate, if you've got any infrastructure left, and I'm thinking along terms of military or any aid stations, naturally they're going to be in city centres, aren't they? I would imagine. That's what I would imagine the plan would be, and they're probably going to use football stadiums or that type of thing, aren't they, to try and organise and give out aid. So, in my view, mate, staying in the city is extremely high risk, but on the other hand, mate, the potential is therefore extremely high reward. Now, once those people move out and they go, like I've always said, haven't I, with the military, you're going to leave and help your own family. So at a certain point, the people that run those stations are going to leave and go and tend to their own families, just human nature.
So the potential for high reward is there potentially, because all that stuff that's left behind, you can then go in and scoop up. If you're adamant on staying in the city, it's extremely high risk, but the potential for high reward, is there too.
Definitely. I mean, I would probably look at more, especially with the explosion side of things. I'd probably be looking to bug out and then get back there, like you've done, Andy, where you're on about securing it and potentially return. Because, you could return to a relative gold mine if it comes to a salvaging operation. So, good point. Just scrolling down here. Zombie Channel. I don't even know what it's about. She just said Zombie Channel. I'd say your mates checked on me 15 minutes ago. Interesting. There you go. See what they said and see what the return answer would have been. That would be good. Yeah. One thing to think about, where to put everyone's pets they bring and how to provide for the S show ensuing. Yeah. People turning up. Yeah. That's I know. I feel sorry for Andy's family. He's turning up with 2 tigers and a gorilla, and riding a horse naked at the same time. I'm here, guys. What did we sign up for?
Blend probably sees mellowed.
Blend straight into the countryside.
But suddenly we're interrupted.
We are now interrupting our normal programming to bring you an important announcement from Her Majesty's Government. Please stand by for further information.
This is BBC Television from London. We are interrupting our normal programming for an emergency broadcast on behalf of Her Majesty's Government. In some urban areas, evacuations are taking place. If you're in one of these areas, police will help you to safety. Follow their orders without question. You should remain indoors until you are told otherwise. Do not attempt to call, text, or use the internet unless it is essential. Connections may be disconnected without notice. Emergency information will be provided via radio, television, and your mobile device. We are interrupting our normal programming for an emergency broadcast on behalf of Her.
This is all that is on the TV now, on repeat, in all areas. And it's not just on the BBC here. There's a variation on other channels, and some channels are just static. What's your thoughts? I'm not even going to tell you. I'm not going to say what the scenario is or ask you what you want to do. I mean, that's where you're at. You've just seen that. So, Brian.
I'm talking on Starlink, whoever else in Discord that's got it, to find out what's happening in other parts of the country. But more so, since they've hinted the internet's patchy, we should still be able to reach other parts of the world and figure out what's happened from a big picture point of view, if what they know what's happening in the UK, rather than the spin that might be being put on it. So from within the group, we should be able to pull a slightly better picture than Joe Blogs.
Yeah. Barry?
Starlink's on the list to get, actually. So I mean, what Brian's just said makes perfect sense to be doing. You still need to be collecting whatever information you can from wherever. And to be honest, I'd probably trust the information coming via our group, because I think we're all pretty level-headed, more so than anything coming out of the mainstream media on different channels. So.
Yep. Okay. Andy, you sat having a lovely cup of tea in the rural family home, and that's what's on the TV now.
To be fair, mate, I've just realised something, and I'm going to have to change my plan and stay in Newcastle.
You can't go back
because no, with that, everyone will agree. Everyone will understand why, right? So, where I plan to go would put me in Zone 5, right? That means I would be in the same zone as Jill Stay logging, and I can't be having it. So what I think I'll do is I'll just take the risk and I'll stay in Newcastle.
Would it be East Zone 5 or West Zone 5?
It would be East.
So you've not
And
got me and
Hawkins.
you've got me D&J, you've got Hawkins.
Oh, that's all right. It's all right then. I'll keep the plan. I'll keep the original plan. So what was the question? What was the question?
It was just that. Yeah, that's what's come on the TV. It's your thoughts behind it. What do you think? What do you think's going on? Are you doing anything different after seeing that broadcast?
It would be tricky for me, mate, because like I've been quite honest. Having in the Firesides, comms, mate, for me is probably the one holding my preps. I don't have Starlink. I haven't got anything mesh-tastic because Hawkins hasn't done it for me yet because he's lazy. So I would be pretty much at that point, mate, on my own, I think. And it would be purely then a local assessment, like Al said earlier, mate, about intelligence. It would be a local assessment of the area, of the rural area where I am, and take it from there. Off the back of that, mate, Starlink is probably, because Hawkins isn't going to help me, is he? Let's just face it. The web isn't going to help me. So I think the easiest thing for me to do is just to get Starlink. So if I did get Starlink, mate, in that case, I could still talk to you guys through Discord. And like Brian said, mate, I've got.
Couldn't talk to me. I'm at this stage. I'm living like the Amish. I haven't got anything.
You wouldn't be charged anyway. So you'd be all right. So if I didn't have Starlink, mate, I would be in the same boat as you, Mike. I wouldn't be talking to anyone, mate. It would all be a local assessment of the area, really.
Yeah, which could be a good thing as well. But, you know, it's not always a bad thing. With it being a rural area, do you think you'd start thinking about, like, speaking to the people that live there, like, we should start planting some food and thinking about stuff like that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And it's where it would be staying as well, mate. Even though it's rural, it's quite affluent, so there would be a lot of land that isn't being used to grow food. So it would be ideally, mate, it would be a good location. And my partner's family all are from a farming background, so they would know what to do in terms of planting food and all that type of stuff. So I feel like I would be a massive advantage than most of the population, mate. Like I say, it was just, and I've always been honest, mate, comms is the biggest gap in my preps, mate, really. So if that BBC message came over, unless they had Starlink, I would really be on my own, mate, to be honest with you.
Yeah, cool. Alan, I'll come to you in a sec. People in the chat, we are slowly approaching the end of this. It's not a very long one, but get your questions in now. If you have any questions about what we would do in this situation or anything you're worried about, please get the questions in. You can still use the super chats, I think, if you're on Brian's channel, because he's monetized and it'll still get starred. Brian, it'll help Brian buy more Pepsi and stuff. So that's awesome if you can do that. But yeah, highlight the question any way you can with capitals or anything like that, or use the supers. That would be awesome.
Apparently,
Alan,
I need a shed.
You need a shed, yeah. He needs a backup shed. You need a backup shed. I don't know.
Sprinkler system.
First the roof blows off, then the shed burns down. Can't win, can you?
And it flooded twice.
And it flooded. There you go.
Yeah, wouldn't it caught fire?
You should just need one of my tents.
Fire system.
One of my tents is more waterproof than your house. It's fine.
Well, come on now. Let's live in
We're stretching it a bit. We're stretching it.
Alan, that's the news thing that's going on. You've obviously seen it. At the same time, the family you've sent away to another location have seen it. Absolute panic stations for family and friends. Your phone's ringing off the hook. They're trying to get in touch with you. The fact that they've not been told not to use the phones and internet, they're still trying, obviously, to get in touch with you because they're in panic stations. What are you doing?
Well, do you know, you can get a bit of information just from that short broadcast. I mean, the first thing being, well, at least the phones and the internet still work. At least I can immediately now disregard any notion that this is to do with civil unrest, because if it's something as severe as this, then it can only be one of two things in my mind. It can either be a massive government collapse in some way that somehow affected the media to the point where they're not just scrambling for the latest story. So something massively internal has happened at a government level, like a military coup on the UK, or an external force has literally attacked the UK. So we're like a massive cyber or nuclear attack has taken place, and the information is so foggy we're not understanding what's going on. I would also question why it's still saying Her Majesty's government, not His Majesty's government. It might be
because I couldn't find a newer clip. That's why.
But, for me, this is now the most serious situation you could possibly be in. I'm no longer afraid of, this is not BLM riots or people rioting about hotels. This is much more serious than that. So I would absolutely be going into full on war mode, as in, I don't give a shit how I look. I'm putting on all of my bushcrafting gear. I've got my grab bag. I'm heading towards where my family is, and I'm preparing to go to my bug out locations that I've got planked out in the the countryside. But like Brian, I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on to get information. If the internet still exists, the French and the Germans and the Americans are going to be commenting on what's going on in the UK, so I can very quickly ascertain whether it's a government problem or are the Russians attacking us. What's going on here? Because we need to know, because those two things are totally different, and it changes everything based on those two scenarios.
I'm kind of hoping Africa's going to have a rock concert for us, because it's surely our turn at this stage. They owe us one.
At least.
Feed the Scottish. Let them build a shed again. Everything.
We've been without wine and Nando's for months. We're dying.
Yeah. My BMI's returned to a normal size. You need to help me.
Please tell me you're not referring to that Buckfast shite as wine.
It's fortified
wine.
It's shit the bed wine. I don't know about fortified. Right. So, I mean, comms is the big aspect here, obviously. So, with regards to that, the ones that have comms and stuff like that, does the network, mags start to come into play? Brian, your phone's ringing off the hook as well, and it's not just your brother who's involved with the community, but it's other members of family that are not involved going, can we come and stay with you? So
no, the shed burnt down. By the way, all kidding aside, any measure of me being able to help extended family at that point has pretty much went up in smoke.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So whatever I've been able to gather in the short time that I had to do it, which for the amount of money I would spank on it if it was there, would be months and months and months. However, this situation looks to be not a quick fix. I don't think, and this is where it's horrible, that because people don't bother prepping, you're left feeling like a piece of shit because you can't help them. It's not that you don't want to help them, but with the situation that you're being forced upon, you're not able, because it could put you and your family at risk further down the line because you don't have a full picture of what's happening on the ground.
Does that conversation turn into giving them advice then instead of how they should best help themselves?
Advice is free. Advice is always free. And that's going to be applicable to everybody in the street, never mind extended family. You could still help with some things that are replenishable. So I can charge their phones for them, right? That's free because the sun's there. Also, it gives me something to barter. Listen, I'll charge your phone.
You've got no deltas left. Your shed burned down.
There's 8 kilowatts in the roof of the house and another 22 kilowatts of batteries.
There we go.
These are just the backups.
I think he sleeps with one anyway. He's got an emergency.
Use it as a pillow.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? Did you see the lipstick around that? I thought I'd rub that off.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a valid point, definitely.
A double A battery would pop out in 9 months.
It wouldn't be charged though. Barry, you mentioned network and mags and stuff like that. Is that a serious plan in place, or is it something you're working on? And how involved would they be at this stage? Would you all be together, or is it just a communications and helping out thing?
Initially, it's a communications and helping out thing, just so that everybody's making sure the information we're getting is all the same stuff, and it's not, this is happening here, this is happening there. Eventually, everybody's going to meet up at the same location. Like I said, the mags is basically to coordinate that meetup and make sure that everybody gets there safely. Obviously, once everybody's at the location, then the communication itself is just for monitoring the news, just to see what's going on.
Yeah. Alan, is there mags involved with yourself? Is there extra people coming on board? Family?
Yeah, to some extent. I don't have what I would consider to be a particularly big mag outside. From a UK point of view, my mag is you guys and everybody else on Discord. That's my form of communication. That's me finding out what's going on in the rest of the country. I've started making sort of some connections with people in my area. I know my neighbours, for example. I know the scout leader that my son goes to Cubs with, who's also into kayaking and stuff and outdoorsy stuff. He's an interesting person to know because he's not a prepper, he's not a survivalist, but he's an outdoorsman. So that's somebody who's got some resources and a little bit of knowledge. I've got a brother who doesn't live too far away, and he's a little bit younger than me, not as good looking, but he is fitter and healthier. So he's he's a resource that we could collaborate together with, and he could bring his family here, and we could coordinate something there, especially with the neighbours we've got around here as well. So it would definitely be a case of try to find out what's going on and perhaps contact those people. But my point of contact with the country would be like Discord and things like that.
Yeah.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
Briefly. Just something that was up in the chat window there, that will mesh still work? Mesh will still work, but the problem is, depending how many are on the network within your location, it won't be countrywide. But if we get enough people in the network on Starlink, then they can still relay to their local contacts on Meshtastic what's going on. Whilst you might not be able to talk to somebody in Surrey on Mesh, you might be able to talk to somebody on Mesh who's got access to Starlink, who can talk to other people on the link, and we can distribute things that way. Aspirationally, that's where we're probably going to want to be at some point. And I don't think we're that far away, to be fair, because we've got quite a few now.
Yeah. Do you think, just an open question to anyone, do you think they'd have stopped or commandeered Starlink in any way at this stage?
Add that discussion. Sorry, Al.
I can't imagine anybody controlling Elon Musk, to be honest. The Russians and the Ukrainians literally fought over this, and there was a whole thing to do with Brazil where they were trying to switch off certain aspects of the internet, and Elon Musk intervened there, and he's a man who will make his own decisions. So if they manage to get to him, something much bigger is going on. Like, I'd be thinking the Americans are attacking us if that was the case.
I had this discussion with my brother this morning at breakfast, because we were talking about comms, and he's like, but what if Starlink broke down? I says, well, hang on. What about if Mesh got jammed? What about if the internet went down locally in your area? What about if it went down nationally? What about if all the satellites blew up? You can't postulate for every scenario. However, what I would like to point out is that we've had a shooting war in Ukraine for 4 years. We've got a major continental power in the form of the Russian Federation who have actively tried to stop Starlink from working. I don't think good old Great Britain or anybody within it has got the moxie to be able to do it if the Russians can't. So unless it's the Americans that are involved, which I would highly doubt, like Alan had just said, I think Starlink would be our best long-term chance, short of a shooting nuclear war. If it's something centric to the UK, whether it's civil disobedience, power failures or whatever, that's probably our best option now, rather than HF radio, which will require training and things that not everybody's got in aerials. So in my humble opinion, and Hawkins and Irritate will be better placed. That's just my opinion based on what I've said. If it was that easy to jam.
Out of the 5 of us here now, who's not got Starlink? Look at that, 4 of us. So anyone's looking to buy a Christmas present for your favourite YouTube preppers, there's 4 of us here all looking for Starlink. So don't forget.
Shameless.
Yeah. It's not my live. I can say what I want. I'm on Brian and Andy's channel.
3 of us aren't even monetized. We're poor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need it more than anybody.
I'm getting stifled by the man. Special branch. They've sent 20 guys to turn off my YouTube.
See, when you think of it with the number that have got it, which isn't huge on the UK Prepper Network by any stretch. There's enough that we've got regional capacity. So whilst Meshcore in the Central Belt in Scotland isn't great, we've got enough coverage here that somebody down south could relay a message to me in WhatsApp or Telegram or whatever via Starlink, and I could tell Alan via Meshcore.
Yeah.
Or JP. And also, I think Phil's got it up further north, the Inverness side. You could talk up there. We've got little pockets of Starlink all over the UK, and we've got larger clusters of Meshtastic that could talk to them. So we've got a comms plan.
We could pass a message on using the Starlink users and stuff like that. Yeah, I love it.
There is a way to use it as a server though. So
that
me and
Andy's got a cup and a string. That's what me and Andy's do.
After the live or over time, this is something we probably need to flesh out, because there is a way to do it with servers as well. You can set them up, but again, it's not my area of expertise. I know what I've read about it, but I've never done it. So Hawkins are somebody that's more comm centric.
I've got my own servers, and Hawkins has a server tower, I believe, as well. So we've got the means. So we'll definitely have to talk about it. Cool. There you go. Good things coming to the UK Prepper Network soon. Let's wrap this up. Story time. So in Newcastle, a group calling themselves Northern Independence Collective seized control of local TV and radio stations, broadcasting their manifesto of regional autonomy and radical changes in the UK. The government, paralysed by internal divisions and a string of resignations created with a blend of important threats and desperate pleas for calm. The Prime Minister, a figure increasingly detached from reality on the streets, shocker, declared a state of emergency but lacked the authority to enforce it. The military, watching the chaos unfold, remained largely in their barracks, a tense and uncertain silence hanging over their command. The military, finally called upon by the desperate remnants of the government, found their command and control systems compromised. Officers loyal to the council, subtly placed over years, ensured that confusion reigned supreme. Units were given conflicting orders. Communication broke down and the chain of command fractured. A significant portion of the army, sympathetic to the plight of the populace, and tired of perceived incompetence, simply stood down or quietly declared allegiance to the new order. Civil war has begun, but that is for another show. There we go.
Interesting.
Index.
There's so many things that would impact on that as well. Externally, the Americans are very much in looking after their own people. They would not stand idly by and watch thousands of American citizens be put to the fire in the pit over here. Mm-hmm. There would be a Marine Expeditionary Unit or more on the coast within a couple of days of shit going that bad. And you would see Ospreys and Apache gunships flying up and making designated rescue points and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, yeah. I mean, it's... From the outside perspective, it's how long can the government smarm other governments? Yeah, we've got it under control. Yeah, we've got it under control, and it's the illusion of control.
I think
until the point it implodes.
I generally think, mate, that's what they hate about social media, that they can't do that anymore.
They can't control it as much.
No, like it's all good and well back in the day, maybe the 70s or the 80s, or even just pre-social media, maybe like the early 90s before it really kicked off. And you could go to the governments and say, yep, everything's under control there. But then, like you said, now they just go on X, formerly known as Twitter, and they can see about 3,000 videos made for people on the ground. So you instantly know that if they were trying to talk bollocks, you'd like that's done away, mate, now with the old who's really behind the curtain illusions.
Legacy media is almost entirely dead. I mean,
and they know it will be after Trump sues the BBC.
I mean, I think ITV are selling a big stake of their branch.
Sue, baby, Sue.
Or are they buying something? Something's going on in the media, but they're doing a lot of consolidation. And see, I listen to Radio 4 at work, and honestly, see, when I listen to them, it's as if they're caught in a time warp where they're just talking to themselves and they don't really know what's going on. They were talking about little fragments today, for example, of an interview that Elon Musk did with Joe Rogan on his podcast, because he made some comments about the UK, and he compared us to hobbits and Lord of the Rings. Right? The BBC, of course, made a big deal out of this, and they spoke about it for nearly 20 minutes. And it became apparent to me, I'd already listened to the full 3-hour podcast, and it became apparent to me that nobody at Radio 4 had actually listened to the podcast. They didn't know the context of the conversation. They didn't know what Elon Musk actually said, and they didn't know what they were talking about. They just kind of snipped a little bit out of it somehow, and then tried to talk about it as if they were intellectuals. And they sounded like buffoons. Honestly, they sounded like morons.
So it was accurate then?
It was absolutely accurate from the BBC's point of view, but they still have that air of absolute authority about them, where they genuinely believe, well, you know, we're talking about it, so what we're saying is the absolute facts. And it's just, I can't be the only one listening to them and thinking, who are these idiots? You know, it's like listening to your grandparents talk about the latest computer game. They're that far out of touch now with what's going on.
Do you know what's scary? And out of touch related, the government of the day is so far out of touch that people that I would consider my social circle, who were as left-leaning as you like, now when you broach the subject of something which should be deemed extreme, like we're going to vote Farage or vote reform, they're actually sitting down and listening going, yeah, maybe. That's unheard of. People I know that I'm talking to about that, unheard of. To get pissed off, to see the government so detached that is even a possibility they consider, blew my mind.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Your guys' trolls are coming over. You rockets won't last 10 minutes, unlike the shite stirrer, clearly.
All right, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, right. Let's go to the real comments and pick some out. There's some from earlier on that I've starred that I've not gone back to, so we'll just pick out a few and any questions that I've seen. Paul Thomas, I now have a ballistic plate in my backpack when I go out. When we were talking about changes that have been made immediately. Making sure we have enough food, water, etc., so we don't have to get near any kind of events like that, which I believe you said the same thing there. Snapdragon said increased home security generally, alarm systems, security lights. So yeah, just being a bit more vigilant even in peace times. How hard did you have to look for a we want Starmer out and not the other chant about him? Lol. I scrolled to the second page, put it that way.
That's that wank band.
Nice. Not the person I just put on the comments, the one from before he's on about. Leanne's all right.
It's worth mentioning, Mike will negotiate with terrorists because he's a nice guy and he'll leave your comments up. See, if you're a complete wanks, then I'd rather just fuck off and jump in front of a bus because I'll just block and ban you. So go and hump somebody else's leg.
This is why he's my sergeant at arms. Norfolk UK Prepper says an emergency holiday to the Arctic when we're talking about bug out locations. Rural is fine because it's still the UK, says John C. Deep in enemy territory here. I'm prepared but outnumbered, so would have to get out fast probably. And his name has the words UK London in there, so he's definitely in a sketchy place when it comes to that. Polonium, I'd start consolidating my preps, stock check and top up shopping run. That was at the early stages we were talking. I've moved and now the army is just up the road. Good extra security, says Jin. I mean, yeah, it depends whose side they're on at the time, I suppose. I've been looking at the GCHQ website a lot just now, so there you go. But again, they will only put out what you're allowed to know, so it'll be limited. I use an AI agent to search various news sites against reports and get them to find the common points and verify where possible. very good use of AI. I like that random online gamer. It's a
Is that
good
what
use
Irritate does as well?
Potentially. Jay does a lot of research as well, who posts on the ukpn.org site. He puts news up there, so yeah, it's good. I might look into that. Polonium, of course, put a £10 super chat in for Brian's troubles. Kane, 199. Brian, you owe me a few coffees.
Thank you.
Brian's cashed in today with my stream going down. Mem, £2. Sprinkles
I'm
and
turning
power
up
banks.
next week with gold chains on like Mike. I'm sure the fools that donate to that screen.
Maybe power things. Gala had a £5 super chat as well. One
you.
shed is no sheds, and Mark said shed and Pepsi fund, £2 super chat from him. So there you go. Thank you guys. Supporting any of these guys that give up the time for this, I'm a massive fan of. So not bitter at all. I'm not going to send Brian a bill, I promise. Question from Philip Hull: would you get some riot gear in? So it's a question for we'll go around the table. I'll come to you last, Brian, because we know you've got things because it's behind you, but your reasons are not this. Andy, riot gear, anything like that? Have you been browsing the ballistic plate sites, or have you considered it?
I do think what the guy said earlier, mate, about putting one in the a ballistic plate in your backpack is a relative good. I mean, I carry one anyway, not ballistic one, but I put a photo on the Discord the other day, that weight plate that I carry.
Yeah.
The orange one. I mean, that's a solid steel plate, mate. It would stop. It'd definitely stop a knife. I wouldn't know what it would stop round wise.
They'll stop up to a 357. They've been tested.
Yeah. So in terms of riot gear, mate, I haven't, but I suppose if you live in a city centre, mate, or an extremely urban area, and you haven't got transport and you need to get out on foot, I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. If you want to wear some of the elbow pads or the knee pads or whatever, or you wanted to feel a bit more, I don't see it being a bad idea if you're in an extremely heavy urban area and there's civil unrest, and it makes you feel more secure, then
why not? Yeah, I wouldn't go to Tesco shopping in it in peace times.
Not.
But
No,
yeah.
I'm purely on about, mate. If there was civil unrest at your door and you needed to get, I don't know, I know I always say 6 miles, but if you need to get out of the city centre 6 miles to some relative safety, and there was people throwing petrol bombs, and there was tear gas, and there was all those kinds of crazy things going on, then I don't see it being.
It would do more good than harm, definitely. Yeah. Alan, would you get some riot gear in? Do you think?
I think personally, I wouldn't for where I live, because the prospect of a riot taking place in a town my size is not going to happen. But if I lived in London or Birmingham or even Glasgow, I think a respirator could be a good option, especially against like things like tear gas and stuff, and some sort of head protection, a ballistics helmet perhaps, or one of those cheaper ones that you can get. If you get hit by a brick or a bottle while you're trying to move through a crowd to get somewhere, you're out the game. A bit of tear gas is just going to be irritating, but you're not going to die from that. But there's a good reason when you see these TV reporters at riots, they've got a helmet on, and sometimes they've got a respirator sort of hanging below their neck or something like that. So at a minimum, that stuff. And I think with the state of the country at the moment, having maybe a stab-proof, maybe not a whole vest, but a plate or something, and put it in a backpack, like we've mentioned before, is a good idea. And that's probably a good investment now, actually, as well. I don't have a ballistic plate, but I did look at the price of them last week, so I'm thinking about it.
Well, I mean, if it's just for that, Brian did the test on the Temu ones, and they are good enough. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, so if you're looking at that, definitely, I'm sure he'll be able to point you in the right direction.
Another, just quickly on ballistics plates, when it comes to if you think firearms is going to be a problem, another good place to actually put them is behind the seats of your car. Then shots coming in from the back window. It's just a lot of bodyguards and stuff do that. I've seen that in a program somewhere, but they put ballistics plates behind the seats of the cars, and you can do that for the rear seats as well. And that's just a little bit of anti-penetration from the back of the car.
Yeah. Excellent. Big thank you to John, who sent me £5 on PayPal, said it was supposed to be a super chat. So thank you for that. Barry, would you get some riot gear in, or have you?
No, I haven't got any. It isn't something I've actually considered, to be honest, because obviously the original plan was bug in and stay put, but obviously for the benefit of this scenario, it was a case of get out of Dodge. So hopefully I'm kind of well away from anything that's going to require that sort of equipment. But to be honest, same as Alan, I have been looking, but at this moment in time, it's not a major priority on my list.
Yeah. Budget dictates a lot of that for a lot of us.
Indeed, yeah.
Brian, you got your plates mainly to do a test and for a video and stuff like that, but you've got the vests as well. What's your thoughts on it?
Save your money, buy food. This scenario aside, and no one to be a hypocrite about it, if you've got spare money and it makes you feel happier, then buy them, right? If you're like most people and you buy your preps with what you've got left out of your budget or whatever, then your first priority should be stuff that's more likely that you can eat, right? You can't eat Kevlar, you can't eat ballistic plates, okay? So for 99% of the scenarios you'll ever face as a prepper, let's be honest, you'd be better buying some tins of beans and hot dogs, okay? Or some rice, or save up, rather than spending, I don't know, 80 quid, so I don't know, 400 quid for your family for some Kevlar, right? Here's a better idea. Go and buy a Delta 2. That way, if the lights go out, you can turn the lights on. You'll get a damn sight more security having the lights on in the TV, keeping the wee ones happy, than you'll ever have having 4 bulky Kevlar vests. However, if you've already got all that and you're happy with your state of play and you're looking at the uncertainty in the world and you want to buy them, absolutely, I'm all for it. But they were not the first thing I bought. They would be the last thing I bought, because you should be concentrating on things that you can eat and things that will keep you happy and hale and lights on. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Perfect. No, that's great. Thank you for the question, Phil. Hopefully that's answered all of that there. Dave said I wouldn't listen to anything the BBC put out. I've listened to Surviving the Evacuation. Lol. Yeah, we've seen some of the Protect and Survive stuff as well. Jay Still Logging asked a question saying, what the fuck did I ever do to Andy?
all the shit he talks on Discord, bane of my life.
It's meant in love. If you've met Andy at the prepper meets, this is what you get. Donkey Puncher said, what lodges are you all in? Cheshire Masons here. I'm not a Mason in any way.
Mate, I'm just going to throw it out there. My house would get burnt down if I was in the lodge where I live, so that rules me out straight away.
Anyway, I take it Mesh is still working. Yes, Mesh would probably be working. It's going to be the last thing to go. It'd have to be an EMP to take out a lot of the Mesh system. That's the whole point of it. It's independent of anything like that. Comms may become useless over time for many. Need to share details with trusted folk on paper. There you go, says Phil.
Were comms plans getting there?
It's good. It's good, and once it's fine-tuned, hopefully it'll be robust enough to stand it. I've been advising people to prep for years. If they don't listen, they can whistle. I think we've all had that conversation of like, I'll come to your house.
And we all say that, and we might be faced with that, but how fucking horrible would you feel having to turn somebody away? Family with kids. It's a shit sandwich.
It's what we say and what we'd actually be able to do might be two different things. That's why I'm over. Yeah, you. I think it's fuck them.
Release the tigers.
But this is why I over prep the basics, not like the expensive free bentos. They're not touching my free bentos or anything like that. But there's
fucking rats and things.
There's plenty. Shocking you are. There's plenty of rice and stuff like that. So overstock on stuff if you're willing to take people in. Brian adds new meaning to the eco full. Oh, that's when you're pointing out your hole on your power bank. And solar panels are great until the Chinese flick a switch and turn them all off. Brian, can the Chinese turn your solar off?
They couldn't turn the panels off because there's no digital circuitry. You've just got a diode pack in them. However, they may have the potential to turn off the power banks because most of them are Wi-Fi linked to your app, so you can control them better. So if they could put chips in and stuff in the firmware. You update the firmware, and look, that's if everybody updated the firmware and they put a kill switch on it. So if it got a signal over the Wi-Fi, all your power banks turn off, right? You've got to be very careful with that, because if they pull that pin and they didn't actually mean it, then there's a big problem there. But yes, they could do it. If it's something you were concerned about, don't switch them onto the internet. Yeah,
there you go. There you go. They'll probably take over the Chinese cars first and run everyone over. Jay still logging. Did Brian have a love child with a power bank, and that's how C3PO was born? Potentially. He's old enough.
I stuck up for you. I said you weren't a wank. When the once total wank was getting bandied about, I says that you weren't a wank.
Come over to my side, Brian. Come over to my team.
I can feel an AI-generated picture coming along here.
Rector Baratus, comms is never useless, even if it's just a turn to get a broader appreciation of developing situations from region to region. It allows you to build a picture and anticipate how things may develop. Very well said, sir.
Can I jump on that briefly? We make choices every day, good and bad. The ability to make a good choice will be dictated with the quality of information. If you've got bad information, chances are you're going to make bad choices. All right. So information is going to be key for us as preppers, no matter what we do, because you might do something reckless and bug out, when if you'd actually seen the bigger picture, you would have stayed put for a bit longer because it was going to resolve itself. So, information and comms is always, 100%.
Yeah. Rachel says, I don't really understand Starlink 100%. Isn't it really expensive monthly? I know you can pause it and pay a small monthly fee each month until it's really necessary still. But it used to be able to pause the subscription completely, but I think there's is it a £5 a month?
It's a fiver. Yeah, it's a fiver. So it's set it up initially.
Peace of mind with it.
And you can still use it on that. It's just it's really, really limited data. It's slow. So even if you've got it on the $4.99 £5 pack, you could still send messages and shit. Pornhub might be a bit kind of awkward. You're halfway through whipping out a batch and you've got a stick figure moving about. So, I'm just saying, I've never tried it. The power bank just clean that up there, but some people might have.
Wow, you had to take it there, didn't you? You had to take it there.
That's what the EcoFlow said.
You got a new member on your channel, Brian. Kelly became a YouTube member of your channel, and Pete sent you a $1.99 super sticker as well. So
thanks, awesome. Pete. You're a legend.
I tried £5 per month Starlink today with a WhatsApp video call. Worked fine. There you go.
Awesome.
So it can work. 500 kilobytes. I think we'll have to let these guys go now. Thank you very much for everyone that's joined us, and this right here makes me proud. And we've got 195 people watching, and my channel's offline. That proves the strength of networking right there. It genuinely does. It didn't take them no time at all to go and get to another channel and still enjoy the stream. So we've got a really good network in general, and it just shows the difference it has when you network together.
It just shows you the eye candy, Mike. I'm just throwing that out there. Andy, I told you it was us. It was the beard. It was the beard brought them back.
The power of the beard.
I know a song about that.
It's an absolute testament, and make sure whichever channel you're watching this on right now, you have hit the like button, you are subscribed to them, then take the time to go and find everyone else's channel All the names are below their names there. Miss Worm's been posting the links in the chat as well. Go and find their channels, give them a like, a subscribe, and then next time they try and ban me or Brian or anyone else off YouTube, you can still find us via everybody else. So there you go. We will defeat them. Rector Paratus also became a YouTube member of your channel there, Brian. You've
Every time I see his name, you know, it always makes me think of Mad Max, like a Mad Max name, like one of the characters.
All right. What was the main bad guy called?
Immortan Joe.
It was what?
And Mad Max, was it no the Nightwing or Night Stalker or something?
I thought it was Immortan Joe.
Yeah, Immortan Joe was from the more modern ones, wasn't he?
I thought it was a Night Stalker or some shit.
I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen the remake.
The serial killer.
that was the Night Stalker. Yeah, you're right.
I thought it was Hawkins at people's windows checking what they had
There
in
we
their stock.
go. That's what I remember.
Humongous,
that's what he was called.
yes.
Humongous. That's what he was called. Yes. Thank you very much, Orange Man. Good. You win. 10 points. 10 points.
I saw a film with somebody called that in it.
That was a different. No.
Wasn't it Mad Max? No.
Don't bite. Don't bite. Don't bite.
I almost fell for that.
Don't bite. Don't bite. Quick, Alan, say goodbye.
Bye.
Any final thoughts and your goodbyes, please, Alan?
No, just thanks for everybody sort of finding a way of watching the stream, even though we temporarily got shut down there. That was interesting to see, and it is, like Mike says, good to see that people found a way. But yeah, thanks for everybody tuning in, and this has been interesting.
Excellent, thank you, Brian. Any final thoughts and goodbyes for the peoples?
It's always good to see everybody on a Sunday night, apart from the bell ends. I've got nothing better to do than try and put. What? Why don't you just fuck off? I mean, you must have something better to do on a Sunday night and annoy us. Come on, really? You've got nothing to do other than a Sunday night is be a dick, right? Honestly.
All comments feed the algorithm. It's all good.
Anyway, complete blatant throbbers aside, it's always good to see best part of 200 people spending their time listening to us rattling on a lot of crap. The super chats I got, really greatly appreciated. I don't tend to do many or get many just to put in a picture. All that will get into a pot. Once it gets to 200 quid, I'll just put a thing in the channel saying, what do you want to buy? Vote goes, I'll buy that, review it, and then anybody that's a member, I'll just do a raffle and you can have it. So that's basically where it's going to go.
Awesome.
Good idea, mate. Yeah.
Excellent. Barry, any final thoughts and goodbyes?
No, thanks for having us on again, and thank you to each and every one of the persons in the chat for taking the time to watch this drivel. And
you rate us so highly, Barry.
Well, you know, after all the stick we get, you know, you've got to give some back, haven't you?
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you very much. And Andy, any final thoughts from you and your goodbyes, please?
Yeah, thanks for finding a way to watch tonight, guys. And just one thing, mate. So the firesides we do, guys, like everybody in the chat, there's only a finite amount of subjects we have. So every so often they will go back around in a circle and we'll end up doing stuff we've already done. So if there is anything that you want us to talk about, or subject or scenario, please drop it in the Discord, and it just gives us something fresh for us to talk about, and just gives us some new stuff for you to watch as well.
No, you can't suggest anything.
No, I have
you
a
get
good
back
one.
in your place.
No, but it's good.
Silence.
Tigers and prepping.
Come the Tiger
Yes, a
King.
winner. Yeah.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Thank you, Andy. That's really appreciated. Don't forget to go and check out everyone's channel as well. Thank you from me for staying tuned throughout all the fiasco. Thank you to Miss Worm, who is not also my awesome moderator. Is Brian's also a moderator? I think she might be a moderator on your channels as well, guys. I'm not 100% sure, but she's moderating all 5. How awesome is that? Go and show your love and appreciation by checking out her channel at Miss Worm for some stories, and she's a published author, so there's her her book. Go and have a search for that on Amazon. Find it, click it, buy it, read it at some point as well. I promise I will read it at some point. I've bought it, but I will have to read it. But thank you very much. I know I can't read. I needed to do the audio version. I need the audio book.
You haven't read it. We've all read it. Andy, what was it about?
You dickhead.
Just give us a general gist, Andy. What was in it? Come on.
You're now on par with just the login.
I do mean you haven't read it. Wow. Mike's got an excuse. He's illiterate. I can't believe it. No wonder you're bright red. That's shocking.
Definitely needs an audiobook version, though.
Right. On that note, and before this turns violent, thank you very much for watching. Fine. See us again next week, hopefully with one of your topics that you suggest in Discord, and we'll see you on the next Fireside. Goodbye, guys.
In the glow of embers dance, we've prepared for every chance, living simple, living true, with the dream we all pursue. Dance, we've prepared for every chance, living simple, living true, with the dream we all pursue.
I'm Brian! I'm Brian! I'm Brian! I'm Brian! I'm Brian, and so's my wife! Right, take him away and release him. No, I'm only joking. I'm not really Brian.